Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to make realistic guitar melodies for like Polo G using stock plugins. Okay, so let's get into it. So FL Studio has this thing called Flex, and I don't know how to describe it, but it's basically just a bunch of sounds that are all free in FL Studio. Obviously you can get some free paid packs, but it's not that many, and there's a bunch of free. All these packs are free, come with FL Studio. If you buy FL Studio, then you get it. They recently added like a guitar, maybe not recently, but I just discovered that they added a guitar bank, and this is a good preset, Dark Star Overdriven. Yeah, so that's the one I'm gonna use. You want to set your tempo to like 160 maybe. That's about the right tempo, and what you want to do is set your scale to whatever. I'm using E minor. Basically that's just F sharp and all white keys. So then you want to find an octave that you like, so let's go probably this one. Yeah, you want to start with the root note and skip one, and then you want to go up again, so it should be like this. So that sounds good, but if you drag these, basically the 5th and the 7th note of the chord, 5th and 7th of the chord across back, and then drag the middle note up, drag these like this, like this. You get like a much more full and more interesting chord to listen to. So then we have this, and then what you can do is go back down. You wanna go to the next note down from the root note, which would be D in this case, and basically you want to do minor, major, major, and that gives it that chord progression that's quite familiar. And then you want to do the same pattern. Let's see. So you could do something like that, where there's more notes in this one, and then this one's played slower as well, just to give variation. We can do this and copy this down to C, because this is a major chord, this is a major chord, so you can just copy it down and it will, just transpose the chord. And yeah, what I want to do is I want it to stop here, and this bar can be empty. Actually, I'll do it halfway through the bar. Like that. But I actually have a guitar slap sound which I'm gonna drag in from a sample pack I was making. Right here, guitar slap. So then we're just gonna drag this into the playlist, and we're gonna play it right here. So there you go. And that just makes it sound more realistic and more like it's actually being played. And we can just copy this over like this, randomize it and strum it with Alt-R and Alt-S, and then what you want to do is actually drag the notes out so they bleed into each other more. These are the basic chords, and now what you want to do is, what I'd like to do is clone it, so you get the same preset. Just close this out, turn it down quite a lot, and then we're just gonna play what's called power chords. So in guitar, usually you don't play like actual chords, you play power chords, which is basically the chord. So this is the E minor chord, but then you just delete the middle note, or you could have this as well. But this one's a pretty nice chord to have, so let's listen. So that's what it sounds like by itself. And then what you can do is just drag it out into a rhythm that you like, because basically what we're doing is making a rhythm guitar. So when you play guitar, you usually have like chords, rhythm, and then like a lead. So that's 3 guitars. So we're gonna emulate that within the DAW. So this is why I'm doing this. So you like this, like that. Just drag this down and drag it down to here. And we can do this, but then delete it here. So it just switches up the rhythm. Alt R and Alt S it, so it's strong. And just notice how it gives it way more rhythm and more direction and more bounce. So now what you want to do is actually add a lead. You can do this with a guitar, or you can do it with any instrument, but I'm going to do it with a guitar for this. And I'm actually going to play it over here on my MIDI keyboard. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I'm going to come up with a melody, and let's see, turn the metronome on, and I'm going to see what I'm going to come up with. I think I'll come up with something, so I'm just going to press R to arm the recording, and then press space to start recording. Alright, so it's basically the same melody, but then a little bit of variation at the end. And now I just want to like quantize it, but I'm going to do it manually because I find that easier. I don't really get how the FL Studio quantize works, so I'm just going to do it manually. And also by doing this, you make it sound more realistic, because if a guitar player was playing, they wouldn't play every single note exactly on the beat. So yeah, that's the lead. Sounds quite emotional. Maybe it sounded more like a Juice WRLD kind of beat, but it's alright. It's wavy. It's wavy. That's all that matters. So now what we want to do is actually route all of these to a mixer channel. And I'm gonna route the guitar slap to the same as the chords, just so we can add the same effects. But before you add any effects or do anything, you wanna arm the disc recording by pressing that little circle there, and when it turns red, you can press Alt R, and just press start. And what I'll do is turn the MIDI into audio file. And then what you want to do is go to generic and transient for all of the clips, and then drag this and make a little space, and you want to duplicate them all out. So there's 2 of them. Probably want to turn it down because it will come out louder. And then just again route it to the same mixer channel that it was on before. Then what you want to do is make every other one unique, and pan basically there's the chords, rhythm and lead, and you want to make one pan more to the left and one pan more to the right for each. So if you make unique and just do it for every single one, turn them down as well, because they will come out way louder, because there's 2 of them. And again, and yeah, and then let's listen. So it still sounds quite dry and not really that good. It sounds right, don't get me wrong. So what I just did there was pan the chords to the left, and then lead to the right, and this just separates it out in the stereo field more and just makes it sound more in both ears. And what I did again there was route all these to 1, so then I can EQ out the low end of all of them, like so, and 4 as well, because there's a lot of build up there usually. And then what you want to do is just grab any reverb. I'm using Valhalla Supermassive. This is a free plugin, okay, definitely check it out. It's way better than free reverb, at least I think. You get way more control and it just sounds better. So that's good enough for the chords. So now for the rhythm, gonna add a bit more, and I'm gonna add some chorus as well. And also some delay. So Valhalla Supermassive is also a delay. So you go to echoes, guitar, and I like reverse. We're just gonna create so only the mid range is affected by the delay, and turn it down. Basically I'm doing this because I want the rhythm to be more ambient, so if you add more reverb it will become more ambient and more in the background. Let's listen. Let's listen with all of them. So you can barely hear it, but it's definitely there driving the rhythm. So I'm going to copy the reverb again to the lead, and I'm going to add less, gonna add a fruity delay this time, and just do this ping pong pan all the way and turn the cut up, just to, you know, fill in the spaces, cause yeah. Because it doesn't play for the whole time, so you definitely need to use it and fill in the spaces so it doesn't sound like there's something missing. So now let's play it. Bro, and that is it. That is how you make wavy, realistic guitar melodies for Polo G, Juice wrld, Kid Laroi, anyone not helping on guitar beats in FL Studio for free stock plugins. Yeah.